Guys, listen, Philippines. I'm not really so happy about this Filipino government is definitely smart. Not only just Philippine, I'm pretty sure Thailand too. A US citizen cannot own Filipino property. What is this? American citizen cannot own a land from Philippines. No Cebu City, no Manila. Come on, guys. And they're smart, because if they would have made that happen, if that was legal, then everybody would have hopped in. Germany, Australia, starting with Australia and US, they would have bought off everything. And they're smart, I get that, but it's kind of annoying too, because where else are you gonna go? The country you can own the land will be Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, places like that. Maybe another place, maybe, I don't know, Malaysia, Singapore, I don't know about them, but that's crazy, because we want to go to Philippines, I want to go to Philippines, but then you cannot own properties there. Damn it. And then I don't get it. That's not a good news. That is not a good news. And then people, if you're clicking this thing and you're talking about condos, come on, stop with that thing, okay? This is gonna be a new stereotype. Okay, you wanna be a businessman, you wanna be investor, okay, go condos. My friend, you're being played. Okay, I think buying a condos, people who are talking about this whole condo purchasing trends over here, listen up. Condos for 40%, you serious? 40, anything you can purchase is saying 40 to 60 rules, 40 to 60% rules. If you're paying 40%, I don't want to be an owner of a condo for 40%. You crazy? What's wrong with you? And what's wrong with you people? How you even purchase a condos for 40% of ownership? That is so dangerous. That is so sketchy. No way. 60% will be somebody else, or the owner or developer, but 40% is going to be you. If anybody ever told you this thing, okay, don't be so hyped. Don't be so hyped about this, okay? And if anybody else is encouraging to buy this thing, listen up. I don't know what, it's probably short term. Philippine citizen, yeah, makes sense. But as a US citizen or as any other country citizen, living in the Philippines and working in another country abroad, bro, no, what is this? This is what they're not telling you about the 40% and 60% rules of owning a condos on Philippines as a US citizen. And this is coming from New York, the most advanced state in the entire world. Listen up. First of all, I don't even know if anybody can do that from New York, so I'm way ahead of saying this. I don't know how many New Yorkers can actually do that thing. But watch this. You will hear from somebody from maybe Texas, Florida, who probably retirees are going there. They're always talking about the retirees, but they're not focusing on the young people who are actually serious to put money there, maybe. Okay, some of them are, or they're putting that, even the YouTubers are lying. They're a bunch of parents' money they're talking about. Okay, now watch this. This is the stuff you gotta watch. 40 to 60% on a condo owner. Let me tell you this. If 60% are somebody else, another owner, or Filipino citizens, and you are as a US citizen are 40% owner, please don't even, it's autofill, screenshot, what? No. 60% can make whoever's the ownership of a 60%, she obviously gonna start changing the contract rules, policy, the maintenance policy. Okay, a good businessman or businesswoman will always try to tweak and twitch his things around of the maintenance rules, policy rules. That person, the 60% is a dominant character. Obviously, you're a 40% US owner, and you're not even from Philippines. You're from the other side. You're far away over there. No one care about what a 40% gonna think about it. You're gonna have a very limited privilege over here. 60% owner can say so many things. They can easily make the contract already complicated for you as a US citizen to even invest in the property. What? No. How you even do that? Okay, you have to think very short term for that. If you're really that desperate and you think, okay, this is my dopamine, bro, you're definitely that's definitely not good for you long term. It's very dangerous for long term, because that property is going to be taken away from you. I already know that, 60% of a owner or a developer can already come up with their own rules and regulations. They can always change things around. They can even trick you, just like the movie from Facebook. You seen the Facebook movie? Just like that, how you steal an ownership of a company from your friends by tricking things, all right? There are 200, 700, 500 people involved over there with their owner group. You by yourself on US or from Australia, how in the world you gonna even fight this case? Plus, you don't know about the Filipino law system, their politics over there, and their lawyer. How long is their thing? How is their? You might have to go to deal with lawyers with them, their policy and all that stuff. So what are you guys even? What are you guys even making this video for? Why even watching this video? Me, I just found out within 2 hours, 3 hours. Like, I know everything, all of this, and then you're saying, okay, you're gonna marry a citizen, you're gonna marry a Filipino woman over there, and she's gonna have she can purchase the properties, she can be the ownership. Nowadays, marriage is stable on Philippines. Yes, I understand, but can be stable. So even Filipino marriage breaks up a lot, okay? But even in Filipino marriage that involves money, you think she's gonna stay with you once that property is on her name? Okay, so people who are saying that, okay, obviously, yes, a Filipino citizen gonna be the ownership of a property. I get that, but the thing is that a woman, when you start involving a beautiful Filipino woman with your properties and keys and titles, and she's near Cebu City, and maybe she's in Manila, what type of mindset is she gonna have? You know where I'm going with this, which is the same reason why American citizens don't want to bring the woman from Philippines to their country, because you know what she might be end up doing. While you're already struggling with the relationship in US, you bring somebody from all the way from there to here with all this paper process, and then you don't know if she's gonna stay with you, which is a lot of these simp men been through that. So it's like, no. So that topic is gone, that hey, ownership with the wife and me as a spouse, or the husband from US citizen to be on a condo. It's like, no, that's not gonna, because most men, they want to be independently full control, right? Anyway, this whole condo thing is like completely BS, okay? 60% of the owner, whoever it is, even if you try to go through the developers, like, okay, I'm gonna pay you gonna purchase multiple condos, still does not make sense, because then the developers are 60% dominant, 60% ownership, you're only 40%, and they're so smart, because obviously 40% is like nothing. You're not even giving me 50%, even if they're 60% or 7, like, if they're 70%, you're like 60%, still nothing. Like, it's like they can still, there's still something that they can still fight you over. They can trick you. And look how smart the whole thing is. If you're giving a foreigner 40% control of a property, that's gonna make a Filipino citizen to purchase or do whatever they have to do much more cheaper. Think about it, because they can control 60%, or they can divide that 60%, they can put more thing on it, but 40% gonna give them a very good discount. Think about it, in real estate or renting thing, 40% discount off because I'm paying or somebody else paying, like that's really good deal right there. That's gonna, which is very smart. That's a very good leadership. 1969 or 1998 act, whenever they made this law. And at the same time, I respect their ideas, obviously, that because if they would have made that, hey, if any foreigner can purchase any lands, then everybody would buy their lands, and that's going to be a big problem. So I get that point, but then for the pure-hearted, and the good people who really want to move there, that could be a problem. So, not somebody just only looking for business, but actually want to move there and settle there. Now you're stuck with this in two countries. Italy is expensive, everywhere else is expensive. These are the countries, some of them are like cheaper, but we want to go to the island. I love island, I love the beach. That's why I'm picking that location. It's not like Mexico or like other places. This is not a good news. This is very annoying, because this is gonna do traveling. A lot of people may not want traveling. It's like, what in the world? Like this is not a good news, especially for the serious people. Like if you're from Australia, don't complain about that. From the US people, this is a big complaint, because I don't want to go over there back and forth for stuff like that. Like, whoa, what in the world? Like that is really annoying. That is just a really bad news, and I don't think this law gonna ever change. Yeah, I don't know what's up, my friend. Over. All right, like and subscribe, follow.